might be able to help find the cure for the cancer in the future, either through research or to become a physician or MD, PhD, or some way. That's the exciting thing about medicine and what I'm going to talk about tonight. If you're here, you may be considering medicine or some of the other health professions. I'm very selfish. I would love for all of you to consider medicine because people like myself that are baby boomers that are going to be retiring in a few short years, a lot of physicians that are baby boomers that are going to be retiring. So there's a tremendous shortage of physicians throughout the nation, and in particularly primary care, but of all kinds, particularly in Arkansas, and then you take that even further in the rural communities of the state of Arkansas. UAMS is a health sciences center, as you know. There are 5 different colleges on the campus, and I'm going to be speaking tonight about medicine, and I'm sure that at some point in time, Jake, you'll have probably representatives from some of the other colleges at UAMS on campus to speak to you about what they have to offer. Tonight I will limit my remarks in a few short minutes, and then hopefully open it up for any questions that you might have to ask. One of the things that certainly I want to call your attention to, and we've passed out the brochure. This is the admissions brochure. We'll be referring to it momentarily, and this sort of is a snapshot of the admissions requirements. If you go to our catalog, which is available, and the address that is here on our website, you can get a lot more comprehensive information about the admissions process, the application process, and so forth. Last year, we had 2,163 applicants for the 174 positions that we have in the College of Medicine. The overwhelming majority of those were non-Arkansas residents. Being the state's only medical school, of course, we give Arkansas residents priority. We interview every Arkansas resident that applies. We do allow and extend an offer of acceptance to some, a limited number of non-Arkansas residents, in particular if they have strong ties to the state of Arkansas. And by virtue of a student, I don't know if there are any non-Arkansas residents in the audience tonight, but by virtue of the fact that you're attending Arkansas Tech, that you're living here, going to school here, qualifies you as having strong ties to the state. And that puts you in a lot different category in our consideration versus an applicant that is applying who's never set foot in the state. And so you're on a different level, but we do give preference to the Arkansas residents. We try to make everybody happy, but as you can imagine, with those kinds of figures, we can't. We recently got an email which said, and I quote, "May UMS and those of the admissions committee be drawn and quartered without anesthetic." You can sort of surmise that this person was not accepted for admission, and you probably also can figure out that we're glad we didn't. It wasn't an Arkansas Tech graduate. Medicine is quite an occupation, a vocation. There is the science of medicine, and then there is the art of medicine. And we look for applicants that have both areas covered. It is not a numbers game. It is not just simply we admit students to medical school based on what your GPA is. That's either a 3.6, 4.0, 3.2, or an MCAT score, whether it be a 35, a 28, or a 22. If it were just the numbers, MCAT and GPA, it'd be real simple for our admissions committee to make decisions by just simply looking at who applies, taking the top students with their GPA ranked accordingly to their MCAT scores, draw a line, and we'd be done with it. Well, that'd be a foolish way, as you can imagine, because we would not necessarily get the people who are most deserving or who are really committed to medicine. Every year, we have students who have MCATs. The maximum you can score on an MCAT is 45, 15 on each of the 3 subtest scores. On occasion, we'll see somebody that has a 40 or a 41 that applies. But for the most part, the average of our applicants that applied is about a 25 or 26. Of those that matriculate, it's about a 28 or 29. Again, those are not cutoffs. Those are averages. So there are some below that, some above that. And so it's more than just the numbers. Again, we had students last year with MCATs of 38, 36, 35 that were not admitted to medical school. We had students who had MCATs in the 20s and mid-20s to low 20s that were admitted to medical school. And I'll explain a little bit why, what the admissions committee is looking for. What are they looking for in you? Why should we select you over all the other qualified applicants that apply? What is it about you that makes you different? Or what makes you unique? or you stand out amidst the pool of applicants, we can only take so many. What is it that's going to help you and your application to stand out? I want to cover a couple of those things that would help you, to give you a few of the tips, the things the admissions committee is looking for, whether you're applying for UAMS or whether you're applying to any medical school. Maybe you're applying to pharmacy school, maybe you're applying to some other health professions. But again, I want to put in the plug for medicine tonight. One of the things that we look for is a student that not only certainly can perform in the classroom, GPA and MCAT. I can't underemphasize that. It is important that you do demonstrate to the admissions committee that you can handle the rigors of the medical school curriculum. It would do you no good, or anyone else, to admit you if we did not think, if the admissions committee thought that you could make it to medical school. Everyone that we place on the alternate list, or we accept, we believe, can finish medical school. Medical school is not really, well, let me back and say, it is difficult, but some of the courses that you take here at Arkansas Tech will be just as difficult as the courses that we teach in medical school. In medical school, it's just that you've got a lot of them all in the same semester. In other words, it's the volume that you're responsible for. You have to learn to love to read, to have intellectual curiosity, to go beyond what is just required. You shouldn't be the student that raises their hand and asks, "Prof, is this going to be on the test?" If it's not, forget it. The reason for that is, and what we're looking for in students, is that you have lifelong